The Lakers got absolutely waxed by the Miami Heat last night on the hardwood. But hey, here in the walls at Chat Sports, I'm trying to beat them in our December sub battle. And right now, we're 25 subs behind. So if you guys haven't already and want more Lakers content on your YouTube timeline, hit that subscribe button right now. What's going on, Lakers fans? My name is Patrick Siepman of Chat Sports, and coming up on today's show, we have 4 Lakers wing trade targets that could help improve this roster, to help also manage the Jarred Vanderbilt injury that he is still dealing with. And we actually have an update on that from Shams here. He just saying Lakers forward Jarred Vanderbilt experienced fluid in his left knee recently during rehabilitation and is now targeting early January for a return. So obviously not great news here for Lakers fans. And, this leaves this Lakers wing depth chart looking a lot, to be desired here. Obviously you got LeBron manning that starting 3-4 spot, whatever one he ends up playing on any given night. Then you got Dalton Connect, who's had a great season. Cam Reddish, Max Christie, Rui Hachimura, Jarred Vanderbilt rounds it out. But, if you're looking at, what the Lakers could add, when you're looking at this graphic right here, I think they could use just a prototypical 3-and-D player. And I've always felt like those guys, they play their best basketball next to LeBron James because he just always requires so much attention on the offensive side of the floor. And it could just be a quick out 3-pointer for whoever, the Lakers end up trading for next to him. But then also defensively, the Lakers last night, it was just embarrassing what the Miami Heat did to them. So I think they need another wing on the outside that can guard and knock down open threes in the flow of the offense. So I got 4 trade targets for you guys. And we're going to start off with one of my favorite players in the NBA, if I'm being honest, Dorian Finney-Smith of the Brooklyn Nets. Now, this is a definition of a 3-and-D guy at that 2 or 3 spot on the hardwood. And this season, he is shooting the lights out. 42.2% from 3 from Dorian Finney-Smith in 15 games played this season. He's really been awesome. And, it's great to see because the 3 years before that, shooting under 40%. So he's definitely getting it back going. And DFS is just one of those guys where, maybe if this was LeBron back in his prime when he was working out of that low block over and over again, I think DFS would be a perfect piece next to him. Can play on both sides of the floor and is really a knockdown 3-point shooter when he gets those open looks. But you guys see the raw stats on screen, 29 minutes of the game, 10 points, 4 rebounds, and being very, very efficient as well. And the argument to trade for Dorian Finney-Smith is, one, he's a very versatile player. He can guard multiple positions, and he's just reliable on the defensive side of the floor. You're going to need a guy to be that point-of-attack defender because, I love Austin Reeves. What he does offensively is great, but are you trusting him to go guard, Jamal Murray, Anthony Edwards, SGA over there in OKC? No, not necessarily. But I think DFS would do a much better job. And plus, he's got playoff experience, and he's shooting his career high this season from downtown. So what would a trade look like? Well, how about this? Gabe Vincent, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and 2 second-round picks. Now, I actually think this has a chance to get it done. I think the Nets are going to try to load up on draft picks here as they're, fully trying to go to this tank for Cooper Flag. So moving off a guy like DFS would obviously help them lose games here. So I like this trade, but I'll ask you guys this. Would you trade for Dorian Finney-Smith? Give me a T for trade or a P for pass down below in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on trading for Dorian Finney-Smith. Now we're going to go to another Brooklyn Net here. How about Cam Johnson? I was just saying DFS is one of my favorite players in the league, but this guy is as well. Cam Johnson is absolutely fantastic. So we'll talk about him a little bit more here in a second, but I do want to give a massive shout out first to today's sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. If you guys download the PrizePicks app today and plug in promo code CLNS, you guys will get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Now, what is PrizePicks? PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. Now I got a lineup for tonight's basketball games. I'm going to take the bonus more than 19.5 points, and then I'm also going to fade Jarrett Allen on this one. I'm going to take the less on 14 points for him. So if you guys want to fade my picks or ride with my picks, just do so at PrizePicks. And download the app today. Give them a look. it adds, just so much more juice to, a lot of these basketball games because they do get out of hand. And if you guys want to have something to follow throughout the entire game, PrizePicks is the best way to do so. So download the app today, use code CONS, get $50 instantly after you put your first $5 lineup. But massive shout out to them for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks, run your game. All right, let's talk about Cam Johnson here. Now, this would be a more expensive trade target for the Lakers. There's no doubt about it. Just what you would have to give up would be a lot more than a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith. But, hey, give credit where it's due. Cam Johnson, he is playing his tail off this season. 43% from downtown in 32 minutes a game. He has been awesome for the Brooklyn Nets. And I think he is really one of the better role players in the league. And I don't mean that as a slight to Cam Johnson, but seriously, he is one of the better role players. He can play within the flow of offense. He can guard on the other side of the floor. And, I will say it is probably unlikely that the Brooklyn Nets just want to give him up, as I'm sure they view him as a pillar of the team moving forward. But if Brooklyn does start to fall in the East, they might be willing to part ways with Johnson. However, he would be the more expensive option, like I was saying. So this was a trade package me and producer Colin cooked up here. I don't know if this is enough to get it done for Cam Johnson, but hey, if this is the notification we get on our phones where it's like, oh, blockbuster trade, the Lakers are getting Cam Johnson, and then they only have to give up D'Angelo Russell, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and a first-round pick, I would do that in a heartbeat because, one, you're getting a great player in Cam Johnson, and also, two, you get to move off D'Angelo Russell, which, as we know, the Lakers are really trying to do so. So if you guys had to pick one Brooklyn Net player to trade for, is it DFS or is it Cam Johnson? Give me a 28 for Dorian Finney-Smith or give me a 2 for Cam Johnson. Let me know your thoughts down below. All right, number 3 on our list, we're going to go with Bruce Brown here of the Toronto Raptors. Now, I think his most well-known stretch of his NBA career came in that playoff run with the Denver Nuggets where he was awesome. He was a great point of attack guy. He shot the 3 ball very, very well that season. And, he got paid by the Indiana Pacers and he was traded to the Toronto Raptors as a part of that Pascal Siakam trade. But, there's no doubt that Bruce Brown, he is a winning basketball player. And, it's so funny where we are in the NBA right now is you have guys like, hey, Julius Randle. He'll put up 23 points, 9 rebounds a game, but I don't think he contributes to winning. Where you have a guy like Bruce Brown, he could score only 10 points a game, but I think he has a more of an impact on winning basketball games. Now, the one negative with Bruce Brown is he is coming off a knee injury, but I still think he'll, have the athletic ability enough to still be an elite perimeter defender. But again, we're going to have to see how that plays out there in Toronto. I'm really certain that they're trying to move off him, see if they can get some, either young players or, some draft picks because Toronto's having an awful start to the season. I think they're going to try to do whatever they can to land a top pick in the draft to kind of start a rebuild. But here's a trade we cooked up. You are going to have to give up Rui Hachimura in this one and Cam Reddish and Christian Wood. Now, with this trade, I like it for the Lakers. I don't love it compared to, the Cam Johnson deal. But, dude, there's no doubt. If you had a backcourt of Bruce Brown, Austin Reeves, it would be a perfect yin-yang to their games where obviously Reeves, the more offensive-minded guard, Bruce Brown, the more defensive-minded guard. And there's no doubt the Lakers, they need more defenders because it kind of just feels like Anthony Davis is just out there by himself manning that defense. And he is a great anchor. He is one of the best defensive players in the league, but he can't do it by himself. So, I like this trade, don't love it, but still, I would do this trade if I were the Lakers GM in a heartbeat. Now, we're going to talk about a cheaper option here. How about Cody Martin? Obviously, twin brother of Caleb Martin, who had a great stint with the Miami Heat here. But Cody Martin's having a great year, sneaky great year. And, only 8.8 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, but 45% from the field, 39% from downtown. And, there's no doubt, in terms of overall trade package, Cody Martin would be the cheapest option. And maybe this is something where it's the Lakers just want to make a move on the margins this year, but they don't want to give up that 2029 first-round pick, which, could be very valuable for other teams if you just assume, LeBron leaves, Anthony Davis, he's going to eventually take a step back in his career. That is a very valuable draft pick to give up, but this would be the cheapest option, no doubt. So here's a trade package. Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, and you land Cody Martin. If I'm doing this, I'm taking this deal. No doubt about it. Honestly, all 4 of these trades, shout out to producer Colin. I love all of them. I think the Lakers just get better in each one of these moves, but we gave you guys 4. Now, you guys just got to give me one here. Pick one of these guys to trade for. Give me a DFS for Dorian Finney-Smith, CJ for Cam Johnson, BB for Bruce Brown, and give me a CM for Cody Martin. Now, if you guys could, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Help us beat the Heat Report in our December sub battle. But thank you guys so much for watching today's show. We'll see you guys next time. Go Lakers.